I'll try it again. Here we go. Boom. And it hit him and it didn't break. And he was like, oh! Oh! And so we did another take, and this time the special effects guy, he was like this big dude. He was like, I'll do the throw this time. Sorry, Jake. And he's like a baseball player. And he threw it, and it did not break. They had used the wrong thickness of glass on this one. I'm sure that Jake still has broken bone floating around in his body from that incident.
Yes, we talked about Dieter, Carsten, and Samu. And now my question today is if you imagine that Dieter, Carsten, and Samu are responsible to plan and to perform Germany's next year's entry to the Eurovision Song Contest. What would that look like in your imagination?
What would Dieter and Cass's... It's Dieter?
Dieter, Carsten, and Samu.
Dieter, Carsten, Samu. I think they would be a real hit in Eurovision. I could see it being very poppy, and yeah. I think it would be a confluence of things, like a combination of classic rock, kind of on the heavier end of the spectrum, maybe with like a little bit of metal mixed in, and that would be Dieter and Samu. That would be what they brought to the table, and then it would be Cass's influence as well, which would be more like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And so it would be this mashup of two completely different musical types that would create its own genre, that would transcend music as we know it now. It would be as if a being from a multi-dimensional plane were somehow involved in music making. Like, it would be a synesthetic experience. Do you know what that means? No one else does either. It's perfect. Yeah, what? You do, someone knows. Yes! We have two people who know what I'm talking about. That's better than usual. What do you see happening with this? I think that we have a hit on our hands. Are you allowed to have non-German nationals as your entries in Eurovision? You are? What?
Think about it while acting or...
Wait, say more. What are you asking?
No, like, aro ace or aromantic, asexual. And when Jeremy had the conversation with his dad about not having dated anyone recently and still being happy and content about that, so yeah.
Well, this is the ace question, I guess. I don't remember talking to Lauren about him being ace. We had conversations about whether he was bi or gay, whether his romantic interest that he has in the second season was going to be a woman or a man. And I don't remember having the conversation about. I don't know if we talked about that. So I only remember hearing about Jeremy being ace or Lauren thinking of him as being ace from a fan. So that was like, oh, well, that's interesting. That's news to me, because that's not really how I had thought of him. I had thought of him more as obsessive and just so traumatized by his childhood that he focuses on his work to the exclusion of pretty much every other relationship in his life, and just didn't I just had conceived of him as not making space in his life for romantic relationships or really friendships. I mean, it's, I think, telling that really his only friend is his research assistant, who is also working with him on his, you know, all the projects that the research that he's working on. So, I would say I didn't intentionally bring that to the performance because it was not how I had been conceiving of the character.
Thank you.
Yes.